Hello, and welcome to the High Meadows Graduate School of Teaching and Learning newsletter. I'm Des Floyd, the Director of Clinical Learning and Educator Development. It's February 1st, and today marks the first day of Black History Month. Even though I believe that Black history should extend beyond the month of February, I thought it was important that we at least take this opportunity to place some emphasis on the fact that Black and Brown teachers' lives matter too. I invited a few of our TCs for a brief conversation this afternoon, and I'll let them introduce themselves first, and then we'll dive right in.
Okay, so my name is Yanni Baptiste. I am teaching at Somerville High School, and I'm teaching honors algebra as well as geometry.
And hi everyone, my name is Cindy Nguyen. I'm a math teacher candidate and I'm teaching at Natick High School with my LDC Radi Amaravati, and I'm currently teaching an introduction to calculus class.
I'm Amir Davis. I'm a bio TC at Lawrence High School, where I'm teaching anatomy with Euclides Pichardo.
Great. So my first question for you all is this. What do you think is the most important Black Lives Matter principle, or what are the most important principles in your opinion, and why do you say that?
In my opinion, the most important principle is creating a safe space for Black women. I feel that the quote by Malcolm X stands very true today, that the most unprotected person in America is the Black woman. And I feel that with our history of just overall being oppressed, I feel like we need to kind of create a space to kind of undo the wrongs that have already been done. So.
And for me, also as an aspiring educator and for other educators, the two main Black Lives Matter guiding principles that I've been really holding on to is diversity and collective value. I really strongly believe that when we really acknowledge and celebrate and realize the value and diversity that our students bring, that ourselves as faculty bring, and other peers bring, that's when we can truly reach a place where we can create that safe and inclusive environment that Yanni was also mentioning.
Of course, all the principles have so much value and weight, and it's really difficult to choose one. But as it means something to me for it to be number one, I also think restorative justice is just, it encapsulates all of them in my opinion. And the disadvantage that we're put at is due to the historical injustices. So, and it's in a matter of it being restorative justice that we need to continue to do and embark in all the work that we need to do so that we can be able to do that.
All right, so my next question for you all is, what advice would you like to give LDCs or mentors who would wish to support you in those areas that you just mentioned?
Advice, I feel, I like the opportunity that we have to kind of connect with other people who have, well, at least for me, the most prominent like principle that I feel, the most prominent Black Lives Matter principle was creating that space for Black women. So I feel like maybe having like a type of seminar where I can connect with other Black educators and to kind of hear of what they had to overcome, certain things that they went through, and just so I kind of feel like I'm not alone, and it just kind of helps to see like who was before me in the path that I'm in now, and what can I learn from like what they've gone through, what can I get from that, and hopefully I would hope to one day be in a position where I can pass that down to the next person.
Yeah, and as for me, in thinking about the best way I can support these principles and other educators can support these principles, after listening to some student activists that last week in one of our grad school courses, I realized that some of the best ways to really promote collective value and diversity is to really take the time to listen to our students and eliminate other barriers and our own biases, and really take that time and take the initiative to get to know not just our students, but our other educators and faculty of color as well. I know, especially for me, it can be really hard in a remote setting, but there's something about just having this personal touch and personal connections with students and other faculty that's really something that they'll take away and remember from the things that you teach.
I would just say, just in general, the awareness that goes with adhering to these principles, especially as it pertains to restorative justice. It helps a lot just being able to have somebody that recognizes the same things, someone who can bring more to the table, and then also be vulnerable in that position to say, hey, you know what, let's do some research. I haven't thought about that. If there's anything you want to explore, anything you want to think about regarding these matters, especially in the teacher position, let's do it. And it could be literally anybody, as long as the dialogue is open, and we can have an adult and professional dialectical conversation about the disciplines that are intertwined with all of these principles. It's amazing, because it doesn't happen in this position. Is predicated upon those things that are necessary in this position.
All right, so in closing, I'd like to read a really short passage from the book, Black Lives Matter at School. This particular chapter was written by Bettina Love, and she writes, abolitionists want to eliminate what is oppressive, not reform it, not reimagine it, but remove oppression by its roots. Abolitionists want to understand the conditions that normalize oppression and uproot those conditions too. Abolitionists, in other words, of scholar and activist Bill Ayers, demand the impossible and work to build a world rooted in the possibilities of justice. Abolitionists are not anarchists. As we eliminate these systems, we want to build conditions that create institutions that are loving, just, equitable, and that center Black lives. So with that, we thank you, and until we meet again, peace and love. Thank you all for joining us.